They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It's the Squirrel. We're back, and today we're listening to the Queen's 2021 speech. I have yet to hear this. A regular viewer of the channel and someone I keep in contact with quite a bit sent this over to me. Always taking care of the squirrel and making sure I'm staying on top of the news. I appreciate it. So, I wanted to check this out and figured I'd check it out with you folks and see what this is all about. Let's see what the speech entailed. Here we go.
My Lords and members of the House of Commons, my government's priority is to deliver a national recovery from the pandemic that makes the United Kingdom stronger, healthier, and more prosperous than before. To achieve this, my government will level up opportunities across all parts of the United Kingdom, supporting jobs, businesses, and economic growth, and addressing the impact of the pandemic on public services. My government will protect the health of the nation, continuing the vaccination programme and providing additional funding to support the NHS. My ministers will bring forward legislation to empower the NHS to innovate and embrace technology. Patients will receive more tailored and preventative care closer to home. Measures will be brought forward to support the health and well-being of the nation, including to tackle obesity and improve mental health. Proposals on social care reform will be brought forward. My government will build on the success of the vaccination programme to lead the world in life sciences, pioneering new treatments against diseases like cancer, and securing jobs and investment across the country.
Great way to start. I just wanted to point a couple things out here. It's cool to see Charles sitting next to her, off to the side. Boris's hair is on point tonight, as always. On point with the hair, Boris. Looking good. It's hard for me to realize, or to remember, I guess, as I watch this, that this woman is in her 90s. Like, so elegant, so well spoken, so just cool as cool can be, and just letting it flow. It's really unbelievable. Just, I mean, to have your, the clarity that she has and her speaking voice, just all of it, it's awesome. I love it.
My ministers will oversee the fastest ever increase in public funding for research and development and pass legislation to establish an advanced research agency. Following the unprecedented support provided to businesses during the pandemic, proposals will be brought forward to create and support jobs and improve regulation. My government will strengthen the economic ties across the Union, investing in and improving national infrastructure. Proposals will be taken forward to transform connectivity by rail and bus, and to extend 5G mobile coverage and gigabit-capable broadband. Legislation will support a lifetime skills guarantee to enable flexible access to high-quality education and training throughout people's lives. Measures will be introduced to ensure that support for businesses reflects the United Kingdom's strategic interests and drives economic growth. Laws will simplify procurement in the public sector. 8 new free ports will create hubs for trade and help regenerate communities. My government will ensure that the public
Look at this. This is just like, I don't know, to me this is a very powerful, powerful picture. Everyone in the traditional garb, everyone, lined and in their spaces. I understand probably outside of pandemic, probably a much more full venue. But this shot alone is just, to me, very. Uh, it's a very powerful shot. I mean, you got the queen sitting at the front of the room, and a huge gold backdrop, and then you got everyone in attention, sitting and listening. It's pretty. I mean, this is pretty cool. It's pretty amazing.
Finances are returned to a sustainable path once the economic recovery is secure. Measures will be brought forward to ensure that children have the best start in life, prioritising their early years. My ministers will address lost learning during the pandemic and ensure every child has a high-quality education and is able to fulfil their potential. My government will help more people to own their own home while enhancing the rights of those who rent. Laws to modernise the planning system so that more homes can be built will be brought forward, along with measures to end the practice of ground rents for new leasehold properties. My ministers will establish in law a new building safety regulator to ensure that the tragedies of the past are never repeated. Measures will be brought forward to address racial and ethnic disparities and ban conversion therapy. Legislation will support the voluntary sector by reducing unnecessary bureaucracy and releasing additional funds for good causes. My government will invest in new green industries to create jobs while protecting the environment. The United Kingdom is committed to achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 and will continue to lead the way internationally by hosting the COP26 summit in Glasgow. Legislation will set binding environmental targets. Legislation will also be brought forward to ensure the United Kingdom has and promotes the highest standards of animal welfare. My government will strengthen and renew democracy and the Constitution. Legislation will be introduced to ensure the integrity of elections, protect freedom of speech, and restore the balance of power between the executive, legislature, and the courts. My ministers will promote the strength and integrity of the Union. Measures will be brought forward to strengthen devolved government in Northern Ireland and address the legacy of the past. My government will introduce measures to increase the safety and security of its citizens. Legislation will increase sentences for the most serious and violent offenders and ensure the timely administration of justice. Proposals will be brought forward to address violence, including against women and girls, and to support victims. Measures will be brought forward to establish a fairer immigration system that strengthens the United Kingdom's borders and deters criminals who facilitate dangerous and illegal journeys. My government will lead the way in ensuring internet safety for all, especially for children, whilst harnessing the benefits of a free, open, and secure internet. My ministers will provide our gallant armed services with the biggest spending increase in 30 years, taking forward their programme of modernisation and reinforcing the United Kingdom's commitment to NATO. My ministers will honour and strengthen the Armed Forces Covenant, placing it in law. Measures will be introduced to provide national insurance contribution relief for employers of veterans. Legislation will be introduced to counter hostile activity by foreign states. My ministers will implement the integrated review of security, defence, development and foreign policy. The United Kingdom will host the G7 summit and lead the global effort to secure a robust economic recovery from the pandemic. My ministers will deepen trade ties in the Gulf, Africa, and the Indo-Pacific. My government will continue to provide aid where it has the greatest impact on reducing poverty and alleviating human suffering. My government will uphold human rights and democracy across the world. It will take forward a global effort to get 40 million girls across the world into school. Members of the House of Commons, estimates for the public services will be laid before you. My Lords and members of the House of Commons, other measures will be laid before you. I pray that the blessing of Almighty God may rest upon your councils.
All right, so few things. First of all, very, it's quite a healing message. It's all about healing from the pandemic, recovery, healing of humans, healing of society. It just seemed like it was all about the strength, and my government's going to do this and that, and all these different things to kind of re-strengthen the United Kingdom. I like that. That was a strong message to me. She mentioned the conversion therapy and ending that, and she mentioned quite a few different things in there that really covered social and economic things that needed to be, I think, kind of reinforced at this point. Did notice Charles looked like he was a little. He might have been nodding off there. Charles didn't look good in this. I don't know. He looked like he was tired. I don't know. Maybe he just got his second jab. I know I was a little worn out and wonky on the second jab. But let's have a look. All right. So right here,
My government will.
it looks like Charles may be in deep thought. That could be it. Um, I hope that maybe that's all he's doing. I don't know. He just doesn't look as alert. Maybe he's just processing all this information with his eyes closed. I don't know. But let's have a look.
Lead the way in ensuring.
See the head falling forward. I think he might be. Again, he could have just had the second jab. I don't know. Just
Internet safety for all, especially for children. Well,
there you go. And then he kind of, oh, that's the first time. Let's have a look at this now. Once again, Boris's hair is on point.
Legislation will be introduced to counter hostile activity by foreign
I see he looks alert and awake right here.
states.
This.
My ministers will implement the integrated review of security, defence, development and foreign policy.
See it again? It looks like he's fading out. I don't know if he is or not. Charles, you look tired, man. I get it. I get that same look on my face quite often. I understand. Just thought it was kind of interesting to point that out. I hope Charles is well. Maybe he just thinks deeply with his eyes closed. I don't know. Great speech though, and I think Her Majesty did a tremendous job with this. And I know, like, a lot of times with political speech, it's like, well, they just said what people wanted to hear. Not sure that's exactly what this was about. I will tell you one thing that I really liked about this was her talking about strengthening the borders and working on immigration. I think that's important. You gotta be able to keep everything in check, and you gotta have a system so that you let people in through a system and not just a free for all. So I think that's important as well. Great speech, great speech. This is a perfect image to be paused on. That embroidered dress is amazing, or the coat over the dress. That's actually she has a dress on under that. That's a yellow and white dress. I believe you could see it from the far off shots, whatever. But that coat that she has is absolutely beautiful. It's embroidered. Again, I think we spoke about this before with the Queen. her fashion is spot on. You know, I'm sure she has people that help her get things together, but I'd imagine she has a little say in her own fashion. And it's she always looks elegant and amazing. So awesome, folks. I hope you enjoyed the speech. If you hadn't seen it, I hope you enjoyed getting to see it. Hope you enjoyed my little fun little poke at Charles. You know, got to keep it lighthearted, guys. If we don't, we're all gonna go nuts. You guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves.